If someone had told me a year ago that I'd be chatting with today's guest about his return to the Cobbers after 19 years away, I don't think I'd have ever believed them. Yet here I am, nearly 3 months into a brand new chapter in the story of Spider Nugent, and I'm still reeling from the fact not only is he back in Weatherfield, but he's also working for the man as an undercover cop. Here to tell me all about it is the actor behind the arachnid, Martin Hancock. Martin, welcome to the podcast. Hey, oh, lovely to speak to you.
Oh, thanks, Michael. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Yeah, great.
So look, Spider's secret is out. What did you think when you first heard that he was going to be an undercover policeman? And is this something you'd known ever since you were coming back?
No, I only found out not long before I was due to come back in. So yeah, it was what? But it will all begin to make sense to the audience, I promise, as it unfolds. Don't worry, it's still the same Spider.
Good.
Don't worry, he's not turned into sort of the man.
Yeah.
He's just he's going to do good.
Those reasons. Good. I mean, did you see any of the fan speculation online about what his secret was? Because right from the very beginning, you've been a bit shady.
These
phone calls.
Hello. Yeah, it's I have been watching this fan speculation and I've been loving it. A lot of it's been quite amusing. Some of it's been quite close, and so and then some of it has been wildly inaccurate, and I've enjoyed that actually. Yes. It just, is he this, is he that, is he this, is he that, and I'm sort of thinking, ha ha ha. And and obviously, my friends who, especially my more blokey mates, who sort of, who never ever tried to admit to watching Corrie, but seem to know everything about it. They've all had their theories. It's like everyone has turned into Columbo. What's Spider's dark secret?
Yeah. Well, it still feels like, there's a bit of mystery with him, isn't there? Because I don't want, I hope that Spider fans aren't going to turn against him, knowing that he's working for, the man, like you said. I mean, if he's still the old Spider of 20 years ago, then great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's not a meat eater. He's still very much. He believes it. He believes in saving the planet. He believes in doing the right thing. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Cool.
He's still the same Spider. It's just he's using a different vehicle to achieve his aims.
Interesting. So, and what about the people who've been supporting a rekindling of Toyah and Spider's romance? So, at the time of recording, she's got no idea about this the secret life that Spider's got. So, I mean, could this put the brakes on any kind of trusting relationship that they were building?
The difficulty, I guess, is that she is a Battersby at the end of the day, and they don't always have the easiest relationship with. I'm so sorry. They don't always have the easiest relationship with the forces of law and order.
No.
But no, sorry, Spud. Do you want to just wait there, mate?
It's all right. We have cats on this side of the podcast. I'm a bit offended that our cat hasn't come to join us actually. So you go ahead, Spud.
It's I don't know.
I bet you'd like the opportunity to put Les Battersby in handcuffs, wouldn't you?
Well, the funny thing is, if you think back to the old days, it was Spider nearly had him cuffed up for committing golf fraud.
That's true.
Way back when.
So with Spider and Toyah, I mean, Toyah and Imran were a very popular couple, and it was clear that even though he'd been unfaithful to her, she still adored him. So
yes.
Why do you think that Toyah's been able to move on and rekindle this with Spider quite so quickly?
I think because it's Spider. I think if it maybe this is me being terribly egotistical. If it had been any other character, it might not have worked.
Yeah.
But Spider is her formative love. That's her big first romance, and I think your big first romance, and for Spider as well. I think she was his true love.
Yeah.
And I think when you have that, that's. Yeah, that you can always pick that up again, I think.
Did you get told any details about what went sour between them? Because the last we saw of Spider was going off to London to do this juice bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just think we sat down and sort of, you know, had a little chat. I think it's just a case of that with they. Oh, I'm so sorry about my cat. I think it's just a case of they decided it was just time to kind of separate for a bit, you know. And the thing is because they're both very open people and very loving people. Then they don't bear a grudge to someone who they love if that person's done things the right way. And I think they broke up the right way. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So that there was never any animosity there for the breakup. It wasn't like one of them cheated on the other one or there was anything like that. I think it was probably just a case of, I'm going to go off and do this. Would you like to come? Not really. I want to stay here.
Yeah. So, but you think that we could be quite hopeful for, you know, a future in this relationship?
I would like to think so, but again, that's in the lap of the writers, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I mean, it must have been lovely working with Georgia again after all these years, though.
Look, I make no secret of working with Georgia being a huge impetus to sort of come back. She's fabulous. She's great. I can't, look, I can't sing her praises enough. It's like she's a great actress, but she's a great colleague as well, and she's a great mate. So yeah. I'm delighted.
Was it just like slipping back into old times? Did you manage to pick it up again, almost like you'd never left?
It was, yeah. It's just straight in. It's just, you know, and I mean, I mentioned it in previous interviews. Her and Jane were the first two cast members I saw when I walked back into the studio, just by sheer luck. It's just, we're just sitting around the table the other day, me, her, and Jane. We're just all nattering away, and you know, like you do. And it was like the last 17, 18 years hadn't happened. You know, just straight back in. It's lovely.
Who else is still there now from when you were there before? I mean, there's still quite a good handful, isn't there?
Wonderful Sue Nichols is still there.
Of course.
Helen. Oh, hang on. Michael's still there. There's a whole there's still quite a lot there.
Yeah, and were those ones the people that you were particularly close with back in the day?
Simon we used to hang about with a bit. He's currently unavailable. But yeah, Simon and I used to sort of hang around.
Yeah.
And I used to really like sort of my little antagonistic scenes with Audrey. So Sue and I used to get on very well.
Yes, because you stood against each other in that election, didn't you?
We did, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had that whole like Spider became a man in the white suit. And we kind of recreated the Tatton by-election in Weatherfield.
Because I mean, she's still going strong, isn't she? She's had this story just recently.
Oh, Sue's just amazing. I think she's brilliant. I really do. You know, she's still got such great comic timing.
Yeah, she really has. Harry is so lucky to have her.
Yeah, and that ability to which you know, a lot of really great choreo actresses have of switching between bathos and pathos, so that it can be very, very sad and very, very funny. And it's the funniness which sort of sets you up. It gets your chin out for them to hit you with the tragedy, you know. Yeah. And Sue's brilliant at that. And so is Helen as well.
Of course, yeah. Now we talked about Spider's police secret earlier. What about the whole marriage thing then? Because that caught me right off guard when you revealed that Spider was married. I mean, what did you find out? What did you think when you found out about that? Did you ever think that Spider would actually ever get a ring on that finger?
Yeah, a little bit surprised, you know, but is he married?
Oh, interesting. Well, who can say? Who can say? Yeah, I mean, there was quite a good story the other day. I mean, when he was talking about, you know, going to South America, finding out about the I can't remember what Spider said. You know, the more unsavory side of protest or something.
Yeah, the unsavory side of protesting is, that's something that kind of is a big impetus to what's coming.
Is that something we're going to find out more about in the coming weeks, about exactly what he saw that almost switched him off protesting?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you're so good at keeping these secrets, Martin.
But I mean, the other funny thing was about the marriage thing, of course, is again the speculation The amount of people that I was married to, you know, the amount of sort of quite successful actresses I was married to. So that was cool.
Yeah, I just love filling in all the gaps when a character comes back after a while and finding out what they've been up to. So I'm very, very intrigued about this, honestly.
Yeah, and you know, and so there are bits where we're it's not yet actually we're not quite sure which way we're going to take things yet.
Okay.
So there are I hate to leave you dangling, but
I'd rather, you know, I don't like spoilers, Martin. But I like the idea that there is still a bit of a mystery there.
Yeah. Oh, there is.
Oh. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to ask about coming back to the street is it's obviously a different set than before, isn't it? And the production must have changed so much. One of the things that I like to hear about when actors come back after a long period away is just kind of like your reflections on how what's different, but what stayed the same as well from what you remember.
I mean, well, obviously it's the set's amazing. The set's and it's full size now as well, because the old set was designed for round television screens, so the upper floors were very, very small. You couldn't, and if you went up the stairs from the street, you just bang your head because there was nothing up there. So they're much more practical now, and they're full size. The street's slightly wider. These other streets. You've got
all down, but Roslyn Street, Victoria Street.
There's a tram station. You know, oh my God. So I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's getting bigger, and it's great.
Yeah, because you've got the precinct being built as well, haven't you, at the moment?
Yeah. So it's quite, you know, it's exciting. So that's very different, and obviously, you know, you've got to be swanky in your offices. Which is all very nice. It's just really nice. It's sort of not as perhaps as cozy maybe as the old place, but that's because the old place was cozy because it was kind of decrepit.
Here you go, Martin. Here's my cat. I told her she'd come and say hello.
Spud, your doppelganger is here. Where are you? When you want one, he's gone.
We'll see if he comes back. I'll see if our cat will stay here. Anyway, so I mean, what about things like the production? I mean, because how many episodes a week was it when you were there before? Were you 4?
It was 4 episodes a week when I was there. Plus, we were doing what they called the bubbles.
Yeah.
So we were doing the spin-off bubble episodes.
What was that? What were those ones?
Were they were kind of like these specials that we were doing. We were doing 1 hour specials, and I think the occasional one and a bit specials.
Right. Okay.
You know, sort of extended storylines and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's back in the 90s. It's a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, does it? Something that people have said before is that it doesn't. You don't have quite as much time to rehearse these days as it was earlier on. And
yeah, I mean, it was because it was when I was there. We didn't really rehearse either. The rehearsal thing had kind of stopped when I got there. Okay. But we did. I think we had one more camera, maybe. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that we had a little bit more time, but we worked on Sundays. Yes, of course. Yeah, I remember. Which the younger me was always very furious about. You know, am I going to be working on Sunday? But you know. But you get a proper weekend now, which is lovely. It's nice. A lot of the crew are still the same, which is lovely. Are they? And that means a lot as well. You know, when I look over and I'm seeing faces, you know, from the old days, and they're kind of giving me knowing looks and grinning and just going, yeah, you're back. We told you. That reveal that you were going to come back, like I can't believe it. I remember I was driving home from work one day, and then I saw a little notification pop up, and I didn't think I'd believe it, because we've been speculating for so long about the potential for Spider coming back. I'd never put money on it actually happening though. So how did it all come about? Again, it's down to, in a way, it's down to Claire, really. In a way, it's down to Georgia Taylor. Of course. And she put a photo up on her socials of me and her when we were very, very young.
Yeah.
You know, doing one of the old, Toya and Spider photos.
Mm-hmm.
And the press picked up on it, and it went into one of the papers, and my mother-in-law saw it and said, "Oh, is he coming back?" She's a massive Corrie head. So she said, "Oh, is he coming back?" And that happened. Then I asked my agent, "Oh, were they thinking about can you ask them to see if they bring me back?" They said, "Does he want to come?" That whole thing started.
Mm-hmm.
It snowballed. And then Ian McLeod, bless him, said, "Do you want to come back?" And I said, "Yes, please. Thank you very much." Yes.
Did he not have to try and convince you with, "Oh, this is the story we've got in mind," or was it just, "Do you want to come back?"
It was, "Do you want to come back?" And I went, "Yes, please, but yes, please, I do. But not for a couple of weeks. I want to come back.
Yeah.
For a decent length of time." And they said, "Okay, so you're in."
Yeah.
We'll, I think I knew, I think just before Christmas, and then had to keep quiet about it until the 30th of April.
That was a long time, wasn't it? Yeah. So a lot of fans had really fond memories of Spider. So was it important that you continued to portray him as a sympathetic, likable character? Did you want him to be the same Spider as we remembered?
Yes. In short, I didn't want him to suddenly turn into something far away from what he was, or a completely different character. So, and he's not. He's the same. He still eats his tofu. But the funny thing is, you see, the world's turned.
Yeah.
So all those things like tofu and meat free and all stuff that he used to bang on about, that's all normal now.
It is.
Climate change, we accept it as normal now. We accept that climate change is happening. Whereas back in the 90s, it was up for debate.
Yeah, and I mean, when you were in it in the 90s, it felt very much like it felt right at the time because you had Swampy in the news, didn't you? And then you had Spider come along, and it was like riding the wave of that kind of activism. But you're right, it feels absolutely right the way we are now in 2022 with everything that's happening.
Yeah, and also the thing about, I think as well, was that Spider and Swampy as well was the Newbury bypass, all those protests, because for the first time it wasn't just anarchist hippies, it was also the middle England suddenly seeing, hang on, this is what environmental activism really is, and it humanized everything. So Spider coming into Corrie meant that they weren't just these scruffy hippies, that you got demonized in the press. They were real people who loved their aunties, and might have been a little bit hard work sometimes, but they were only that way because they really, really cared.
Yeah.
And that was nice. That was, if I contributed anything to that movement, it was probably that, for humanization, just reminding people, these are people's sons and daughters. These are people who love, care, and really want to change the world for the better.
Because I mean, obviously the environment, protecting the planet and everything is a topic that's so important, but it's also something that lots of people don't feel like they're being preached at about. So I mean, how do you think that Coronation Street is trying to make sure Spider's message is something that's seen as positive and important?
Yeah, I think the other advantage of the soap is that you can get these ideas across, and it isn't preachy.
No.
You put it into everyday life, and you put it into storylines. George has been carrying that banner for a while with Toya. But Roy's Rolls now does a vegan range. You go into Roy's Rolls and you can have a vegan sausage.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Nina behind the counter there as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Another one on your side.
Exactly. Lovely Molly. It's like, you got Millie, you got and Molly, you got all of these, changes that have been done nicely and gently. And yes, sometimes Spider does get on his soapbox, and as is his wont, but I think also Corrie's very, very good at using gentle, persuasive humor to get serious points across. I think Corrie does that brilliantly. And I think Corrie cast Sorry, I think the Corrie casts do that brilliantly. Now I've got a dog with a squeaky toy.
That's okay. You keep going. There's also Maria, isn't there? Because she's had all these environment stories recently.
Yeah.
The key point in her election campaign. So what do you think that Maria would make of what Spider's up to? Do you and do you think there's any chance of their paths crossing? Are you staying quiet about that one? He's staying quiet. Oh, I'm just putting all these ideas. We will park that one then. We will just have to wait and see.
You have to park that one.
Something that you definitely can tell me then is, what did your mum think about Spider coming back? You said that she was excited. How has she enjoyed it?
My mother-in-law,
yeah,
my mother-in-law is absolutely beside herself. She is buzzing. Literally, you can hear the buzz from Lincolnshire all the way to Weatherfield. Like, yeah, she's loving it. She's so happy. She's incredibly happy for me. You know, and my wife is loving me being in it, and so she's incredibly happy for my wife as well, and I'm happy for my wife because she's happy. So there's a lot of joy. You know, she's loving it, and she's just. I get these phone calls because we ring her every morning. And she's like, oh, Docky, last night, oh, I couldn't believe it. You're a policeman. Oh, I nearly fell off the sofa. Morris, did I not fall off the sofa? I did. You know,
brilliant.
It's just been, yeah, it's been great. She's loved every minute of it.
Does she, I mean, is she able to easily distinguish between Martin and Spider? I mean, are you very similar to Spider, or are you totally different people in real life?
I'm not Spider in real life, no, but I am Spider in real life as well. Because you know, you like to say, no, the character's nothing like me. You know, I've created this completely unique being that's separate from, and it's not. It's partly you as well. Yeah, you know, a little bit bolshy, a little bit wants to do the right thing, stand up for people. You know, definitely want to, you know, be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there's more to Spider than these environmental stories, though? I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know how long you're gonna stay, and I'm sure you're not going to tell me, but would you like the chance to have a go at doing other like traditional soap stories, like, you know, the affairs and the dark secrets and all that kind of thing?
I don't know. Yes, I suppose. Yes and no. I wouldn't. I know this sounds really a daft thing to say. I wouldn't want him to cheat on Toya if they were together. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to, you know what I mean? That just wouldn't, you know, I don't think that's in his psyche. Back, he's too honourable. But you know,
people would have said that about Imran last year, and what happened there?
Do you know what? At the end of the day, you never say never, do you? In Soapland.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see like Spider tackle Parenthood or something like that. Do you reckon that? Or maybe he has with this wife that may or may not actually exist.
There may be a whole string of spiderlings about to come into the stuff.
Maybe Toya would love it. She got,
yeah, you know. I think there are a lot of things that, you know, you could have it, you know, yeah, there are lots and lots of things Spider could do. You know, they could play around with and do with it, but that's up to them really. You know, the writers have got wonderful ideas, and so yeah, I'll go with what they offer me.
Cool. Okay, right. Let's scroll back a bit then, because I want to know about how you got into acting. What was it about this career that particularly appealed to you back in the 90s?
I just, it was something that I'd always, as been a bit of a misfit, I'd always enjoyed the sense of belonging you got from acting with people. And it was a bit of escapism as well. When you're a bit of an unhappy teenager, it's a bit of escapism as well. It allows you to feel a bit better about yourself, gives you a bit of self-confidence. I did try to do other things, you know. I tried to work I tried to get a job in a Square Mile at one point, and that I lasted about not very long. It wasn't at all. I just and you know, and then I sort of did a bit of building work and a bit of this and a bit of that, and then I sort of got myself together a bit. I thought, no, let's try and focus on this and have a go at that.
So was it not just like a straight career path, you know, drama at school, then into into it. You had other jobs between then?
I had a lot of other jobs between. I've done, yeah. If it involves me hands, I've done it. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about sort of being an overnight success is it doesn't take a long time. So yeah, lots of bar work, waiting tables, digging holes, doing lots of grossy jobs, delivery driver, it's all the stuff that you do, warehouseman.
Yeah. So how does it work, just going from that to acting then? Do you just have to do you turn up at a theatre, or do you enroll in a drama college, or what?
Well, I mean, I went to drama school, and then I left a bit early, and then I got lucky in that somebody said, "Oh, look, this guy's, I think's got something. Do you want to represent him?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'll try him." And then so Michael Anderson, so he started sending me up for some auditions, and I got them.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of me on the way. I went to Glasgow Citizens, and I earned my equity card at Glasgow Citizens Theatre. And that was me. Then I was in the profession, which meant that I immediately went and got a job waiting tables.
Have you done much theatre? I mean, I've looked at your IMDb page, and there's lots of short films and obviously a bit of TV there as well. Have you trod the boards lots as well?
I've done a few. I did an old Coward talk not that long ago. And when I first started out, I did a lot of theatre. Sort of edgy, fringy kind of edgy theatre.
Yeah.
I did a lot of that. But then since I left Corrie, I've done TV. I've always done short films for people. So my IMDb does have a lot of shorts on it, because when people are starting out, and if I've got the time, then you give your time.
Yeah.
And then obviously, then the big films and the Hollywoody stuff as well, which was very fun. And then and Holby City for a bit, did that.
Yeah.
I was only supposed to do 2 episodes, and I think I did 6 months or 7 months on that, so that was quite nice.
Yeah. Would you say that Spider is one of the most special characters to you?
Yes. Yeah, Spider's the one that, being honest, Spider's the one that everybody knows me for.
Yeah.
And I don't mind, because I think there are a lot worse things you could be known for.
Oh, I know, he's a great character. What was it about the character of Spider that appealed to you, back when you went for the audition back in the day?
I like the fact that he was slightly tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
There's that thing, that mischievous thing that Corrie writers have, of using a bit of humour, and just having that bit of humour, just to take the edge off. Like I said, just to take the edge off and to humanise people. So just Tizer, do you want to say hello? That's Tizer.
Oh yeah, we got a dog on the screen. Brilliant, I love it.
Here we go. So yeah, it's I just, when I read it, it was all the Teresa the Turkey story. That's what I auditioned for, Teresa the Turkey.
Oh, that was hilarious. I
love this thing about you've got the really hardcore working class family, the Battersbys, who've got this turkey for Christmas, and then you've got this lefty liberal tree hugging hippie comes along and liberating it, and you've got Janice Battersby chasing him with a baseball bat, and I'm kind of doing a Mr. Grimsdale, Mrs. Battersby, don't hit me, and it's just this lovely sort of affectionate chaos. It's love that. That's I just thought that was brilliant, and it's just I just thought I could have a lot of fun playing this part.
Yeah, because you were thrown right in there with the Battersbys, weren't you? And they'd only just joined the show, and then the 6 months or so before you had, and that was a huge turning point for Corrie as well, with Brian Parker as producer. I mean, was it quite exciting coming in? It was almost like the dawn of a new era for Corrie, I guess. Yeah,
it was. I mean, it was the weird thing, but the funny thing for me was it was I was part of the like I said, this wave of that Brian brought in, but then I got paired up with Isaac. So it was lovely. And she was just brilliant. She just clicked on it like that. She wasn't funny about it. She got it straight away, got the idea of it. And of course it tapped into Emily Bishop's radical side, because she was a woman who closed off a street in the 70s with bulldozers to stop them taking the cobbles up.
Yeah.
You know, she's a woman whose husband, you know, had a violent assault against him. She's not a woman with experience and life experience and without morality. So when Brian brought me in, she was almost like my perfect match, and it just happened to be my auntie. So it was really clever writing and storylining and planning. It was yeah.
What was it like to work with Eileen Derbyshire? Because she's such a Corrie legend, isn't she?
Wonderful. She's great.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the thing I always talk about is we always used to pull Friday afternoon for the tea and cake sessions. You know, do you remember the Spider Emily tea and cake sessions?
Yeah.
Where we'd be having tea and cake, and they'd be sort of having these sort of like exposition conversations where, you know, getting the storylines up to date, you know. So why are you doing that tree and da. Well, what I was doing was, but we'd be yakking away like that, and then stop, take, and then we'd come in for it like this, and then she'd be chatting to me, and I'd be chatting to her, and then we'd do it, and then we'd go back into what we were scripted, and then that was that, and then it was great, and we call cut, we're all getting ready to go home, and then somebody goes, "You've been using your own names again." We don't, and you know, she's been calling me Martin, and I've been calling her Eileen, and we hadn't even noticed because it's kind of the lines had kind of got a bit blurred.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I just have nothing but affectionate memories. Yeah.
Has there been any talk of what Emily Bishop's supposed to be up to at the moment?
I tell people that she's in a rather fabulous house in Eastbourne.
Oh, I see.
with a lot of older radicals having a very nice time.
That sounds lovely. I'd love to see another scene with the two of you again, and I guess that's probably not going to happen. But if there was anybody from the 90s that you could bring back to Coronation Street now for another scene with, who do you think it would be?
Oh gosh, I mean, I've been asked this a few times, and it kind of changes every time, because I think I'd love to work with Amanda again. You know, I'd love to work with Bruce. I had so much fun with that gang, and of course Kev Kennedy. Yes. You know, because they teamed Spider and Curly up at one point as well, and Kev and I had a lot of fun. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, well, we know that Kev Kennedy would certainly like to come back to the show, wouldn't he? So about that one, maybe. Yeah. So did you, after you left Corrie, it was quite nice that you were able to come back a couple of times, because you had your first big stint and you had a couple of little ones. Was it always the idea that the door would be left open for you? Yeah, that was really nice. And also people would sort of say, "Oh, you got to mention the other day." And I'll be like, "Sorry?" We go, "They mentioned you the other day." And I'm like, "Really?" And so, "Oh, that's nice." And then you'd watch it, and like, you know, and Emily always had a little Spider's little picture on the sideboard for years and years and years. Yeah. And that's really nice. And it means a lot to you as an actor as well, just to know that it's funny, you have a proprietorial feeling for your character. And so it's nice to know that he's been looked after by the writers. Yeah, he's certainly not been forgotten about, and there's no way they could have recast Spider either. So I'm really glad they got you back. Very kind of you to say so, because I did wonder whether they were going to, you know, reboot me. Yeah, no, only one Spider knew, I tell you. So we're trying to draw into a close now, I guess. But I just wondered, I know you're not going to tell me, but would you like to be able to stay in the show for a good long time to come? Who wouldn't? It's certainly from what I hear, it's a certainly wonderful place to work, and I know that it's been really, really brilliant having you back on, and it just feels there's so much more of Spider's story to tell. Thank you. I love being back. I love my co-workers, I love my crew, I love my producer, and I love my fans. I love the show, and I'm just especially coming back, you know, you just realize what a special show it is. So I'm delighted. Yeah. Martin, it's been so lovely speaking to you this afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to come onto the podcast. And very best of luck for the future in Corrie, however long that may be. But, you know, if it was anything down to me, it'd be certainly a very long time. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.